Hey everyone, Dan here. I know I'm a little late to the topic, but I did bookmark this and I did want to cover it a little bit because I think it's very important to discuss. And it's especially something that seems to be very controversial, but really shouldn't be. But yeah, let's just dive right into it. So, Germany, Miss Germany. As everyone's aware, there are beauty pageants globally. Every country has them. There's Miss Universe, which is the international beauty pageant. And, well, people have taken a look at the top 18 contestants for this year's 2025's Miss Germany. And right off the bat, well, a lot of people are wondering if this is still Miss Germany. It seems to look a little more like Miss Universe, frankly. And actually, that's kind of disgraceful because Miss Universe has higher standards. So I really don't know what to say that most people can't pick up immediately by looking at this picture. So first things first, obviously, it's very diverse. So I don't think that's a problem. I think with Miss Germany, Miss wherever, you should pick the most beautiful women, your country has to offer or whatever. This ain't it. And I want to speak in a very objective sense. Let's take a look at prior pageants, first off, without getting into kind of talking about what Miss Germany should look like, or let's talk about what pageants generally should look like. So most people are talking about look, beautiful German women, etc. This is kind of the stereotypical German woman, right? Okay, maybe a little too stereotypical. They don't all need to look like that. But guys, look. This was Miss Germany of 2016, guys. Okay? Does everyone notice something right off the bat? Anyone? The answer is that they're native Germans. Basically, all of the contestants are native Germans. They're white women. They have phenotypical features of German women. This one is outstanding. This is a really great comparison. And then there's also just the aspect, again, in pageantry of beauty. So I know, they aren't wearing at the bottom, they're not wearing their, outfit or whatever for, the actual contest. But for the love of God, I mean, these are 7s and 8s. Is Germany run out of 10s? Because all of these are 9s and 10s up here. I get it. Again, they aren't fully make-upped and whatever, dressed and all their stuff for that. But what is missing here? I think it really is just a beauty standard that's just completely fallen off a cliff, straight off a cliff. Yeah, I mean, it can just be perceived. It doesn't need to really even be discussed too much. But I think it's important because where's the beauty of Germany? Exactly. So, where's some of the typical features that, stand out for your country? Why is that not at the forefront of what you want to show the world? What you want to show the world is women from Africa. And it's fine. I think it's fine that they run. They can be in the contest. Hell, they can win if they're really that pretty. But look at Miss Turkey. What's going on with these pictures? These look like Turkish women. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. And you're trying to say, well, there's something wrong with wanting, or someone having a more diverse lineup. Not really, but you're kind of missing the point. You're kind of failing at hosting a pageant if your big message is Germany is just a giant melting pot or something. I mean, for the love of God, this is Turkey. This is a Muslim country on the bottom. And look, sure, some of these women might wear burqas or headdresses and things like that, obviously, when they're not in this outfit. But hello? Come on, like this should be the opposite. Like Germany is probably up there with, like, I don't know, Russia, Ukraine, some of the major countries known for beautiful women. Germany's up there. Sweden, the Nordic countries. Guys, 10 years ago, please, can we get back to, like, can we just get back to where we left off? Because this is just it, why do we even host the pageant? Why? That's my big question. Solution is to make German women beautiful again, and that means changing the beauty standard. There you go. That's my plan. That's my solution. Just having an attractive person be shown or represented in your contests does not necessarily mean that's what everyone should look like. It's the point that they're supposed to be exceptional. One of the biggest things pushed by modeling, all sorts of different, agencies, things like that, is like, well, we want to appeal to the average person. That's not, no, we don't want that. We want something for people to strive for, right? I mean, shit, dude. This is Miss Germany 2024. She's like a 6 or a 7 max. People. I'm like speechless because I feel like I shouldn't even be having this discussion. This shouldn't even be a material for a quick thought, but I feel like it needs to be brought up again. And here's an example. It's like a random Aldi cashier and Miss Germany 2024. We have fallen off in more ways than one. And changing our beauty standard is not okay. Like, okay, no one's comparing their wife to Miss Germany. We don't need everyone to look the same. We don't need to stop striving for higher, beauty standards and celebrating exceptionalism just because it might upset someone who isn't exceptional. We need to stop that. That's the first thing we need to stop. Make beauty great again.